What's up, guys? Welcome back. Highside Broadcasting coming back to you guys live once again here tonight. Back again for the FTR Weekly Podcast, episode 7 already. What's up, Billy?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Not too much. Really excited. Next week will mark 2 months since our first, or actually this week marks 2 months since our first episode, so really excited. We got two guests in the booth with us tonight, starting off with JD. What's up, JD?
What's going on, fellas? Good to be here.
What's up, JD?
What's going on, buddy?
Not too much. With us in the booth as well. What's up, Rub on 'em?
How's it going, fellas?
Not
What's
too
up, bro?
bad. Really excited to have you guys in the booth with us here tonight. We have a lot to discuss after another great week in FTR. I'm not sure. I think we're 4 or 5 weeks in now. We've had several races under our belt, and we just had our best race, in my opinion, in the A-League this week. And I know every week is put on a show. I'm going to lend this one to Billy to tell us who won the B and C races and give us the review there from his perspective because he broadcasted those. So starting with Billy, how were the B and C races this past weekend?
Oh man, we seen some great action this week. Some really good racing by both groups. We kind of started off in the C group. We had a little bit shorter field this week. I think we had like 13 drivers, I believe, is what we had in attendance. But these guys, man, they put on one hell of a race. I mean, from start to finish. I think we had our first caution, I believe it was in stage 3. So, they ran the first 2 stages, caution free. So that was a big plus. And, I paid that to a lot of tribute to the guys just getting used to each other. But man, I'll tell you what, we seen Stewart take the first stage win in stage 1, and then he kind of fell back a little bit there, in the second stage, and Smooth Puppy was able to grab that win in that stage, and then he was there at the end. I mean, he had I believe one of the fastest cars that night, and he was able to pick up the win. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, we've had 4 races with 4 different winners in each group. But it's been wild, man. It's been great. Racing's been awesome. Same with the B group. I mean, we had a lot of great racing in there last week. I know we had a couple back and whatnot, kind of late race, kind of like what we've seen at Pocono in the A-League, kind of a shootout type deal. But, we had another first-time winner there as well, Brandon B. Me. He was able to capture that victory. It was actually his debut in the B group. And to show up like that and come away with a win, it just says a lot, man.
Definitely. That's actually, to do the math, 12 different winners, and we are 4 races into the season, which is pretty incredible, to not have one single repeat winner in all of FTR's 3 leagues, and then you counter in high side. That's pretty incredible. We haven't had a bad race yet, except for maybe Daytona. And being that we've been to big tracks like Pocono, a mile and a half like Kansas and Texas, we've kind of started to scatter. And we're going to go to our first, not really a short track, but it's only a mile track. You have to use the brakes. So, yeah, we're going to be going to a whole new track this week, and it's going to be interesting to see how the racing is compared to the last couple of weeks. But to move on with one of our guests, JD, you were actually in that B race, so give us your perspective and what kind of went down from your eye view.
Actually, I missed the race, but I was intensely watching.
Okay.
I had a meeting, so I had to not make it. But anyway, the race looked pretty good. There's a few scuffles and scrapes, but congratulations to Brandon. That comes with good coaching and working with somebody just long enough to get them up to speed. And Billy has a big deal with that. When we first started, I was helping him out for the first couple of races, and Billy kind of just like put him under his wing and helped him out, and he's learned become a pretty steady, strong racer.
Definitely. Yeah, that's the whole point of FTR really is for guys to come together and help each other. And we've seen it all year and every year. You know, we're in season 4 and we've been helping each other, especially Billy. And you know, that's the whole point of this High Side channel. It's you know just to help everybody. You know, we're coming up on 2 years now that FTR has been around, and we're no different. You know, just much bigger than what we were. You know, a lot of helping each other, a lot of working together, and that's really what it's about. And it kind of leads me into my next point with the A race. Rub on them, you actually missed that one, but what, from your perspective, Rub, how has the races been so far? You know, we're 4 races into the year now, and each race has progressively gotten better from Daytona to Texas to Pocono to this previous week. What's been your perspective watching it grow? Because you were a racer last season as well. And just what's your eye view of it, Rub?
Well, back to your original point about the racing progressing race by race is absolutely true. Uh, but as far as my perspective of the league in a whole, man, y'all let too many good drivers in, which even makes it even harder for me. That's my only complaint.
In my
But don't
books,
let
that's a
good
good
drivers
complaint to
in.
have.
If y'all was going, if y'all was gonna let them in, you could have got some scrubs or something. You didn't have to get all the best guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
my
well,
perspective. But the way I look at it, it just makes me better racing with them guys. So yeah, there's most of the races there's been a little bit of impatience, but I think we're working through that. Um, it seems like the same handful, 4 or 5 guys are in the top 5 winning, and so it just gives me a goal. I'm like maybe a mid pack car now driver, but just give me something to shoot for to improve my driving by learning from you guys. So it's all good.
definitely. Like you said, the racing for each week has definitely progressively gotten better, and that's just true, you know, and the field hasn't really shrunk any. So there's really no excuses other than people getting to know each other and really all that kind of stuff. And just patience and, you know, it's not a new league, but when you bring in so many new drivers, it almost feels like that. You know, from the 13 guys we had show up every week last season to 20 per group this year. It's a big change, and to have over half the league, probably 3/4 of the league, be new, you know, you're gonna have some growing pains. So back to Billy, moving on to the high side race. You know, we're gonna keep reviewing here from Monday night. What was your perspective of that? And we had another great finish, another close one.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a great race as well. You know, it kind of set the tone, right? So, you know, we had a lot of guys that were running in the FTR, ran in the high side. You know, especially some of the faster guys. And I think we kind of learned a lot Monday night. It was a really good race. I think you pulled off that win, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
I think you got that win there, and yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, we had a few more cautions than we typically normally had, but you know, it's Kansas, right? So I mean, it's one groove. We had a lot of a lot of different guys in there, kind of a little bit different talent levels and whatnot. But I thought the race was really good, honestly.
Yeah, I have to agree. Just like in FTR, the racing each week has gotten progressively better, and I have to really commend all the guys that have raced every week. You know, we've had a ton of guys show up. We haven't had under 19 guys, and that's more than what we had all of last season. You know, we had
And
20.
and Kansas a race was an awesome finish, guys, between you and Billy, and whoever that wasn't.
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike. But that was an awesome finish. I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No, you're fine. You know, we always want your perspectives. You and JD, we want your perspectives, and that kind of leads me into my next point with the review. We had a very good ending at High Side. I think Titans, he tried to pull the slide job on me. He didn't pull it all the way in front of me, and I passed him back on the outside. I think I cut you. I was nose off down the back straightaway. Yeah, it's just a good finish there. And, you know, it's awesome to pull out a win, you know, with, you know, the JCR boys and everybody that runs with us on Monday night. And then to go into Wednesday night and for me to be in the exact same opportunity, but instead of running second and not first. And I pulled the move and I hesitated. I didn't know if Mike was going to pinch me going into the turn, if he was going to cross me over, or if he was just going to run on the outside and just try to pass me. And I thought he was going to pinch me, so I went extra low. He didn't pinch me. Then I thought he was going to pull the crossover, so I lifted to keep my car on the bottom lane to keep him from doing that. He didn't do that. He stayed high. So once I seen what he was doing, I pulled up. It was too late. I had already lost the back end from lifting in the center of the turn. You don't want to do that, but I was doing that as a defense move, and I accidentally put him in the wall. He wasn't happy about it. It gave Billy the win. He was right there.
If you'd have moved up when you first thought about it, Eagles, you'd have had the move made.
I know it. You just don't know. You know, in the final turn, you don't know what his defensive move is going to be. You know you're going to send it in the final turn, and he knows you're going to send it in. But you don't know if he's going to cross you over, if he's going to pinch you. You don't know what he's going to do, because if he pinches me, then Billy runs around both of us. If he crosses me over, well, that's what I expected him to do, and he would have ran into my rear end, but he stayed high, and I put him in the wall. That was my fault. We were racing hard for the win. I didn't want to do that. But congratulations to Billy. He was able to get that win. I pulled the same move on him at the end of stage 2, pulled the slide job. Slide jobs were being made pretty much all night. Slide jobs were really the only way to pass unless somebody made a mistake, and that's kind of the uniqueness. We talked about it last week going into Kansas, what the racing was going to be like, and it is a one-groove track, but unlike any other track on this game, that one groove is the high side. Billy, what's your perspective of the A-League race, of the finish and how the racing was for FTR in the A-League at Kansas?
Oh man, I thought it was phenomenal. I think there was a lot of give and take. I've seen a lot of guys driving. From the most part, from what I've seen out front, there was no really aggressive driving. It was just, we had some guys that was pulling some dive moves in the corners, but I mean, everything was clean. I only seen like once or twice where somebody accidentally got into somebody, but I was very, very worried coming into that race with normal draft, because we know it's already a one groove track, and you got so much speed from the draft. It was so heavy, but man, it was awesome. I mean, it was an awesome race. I played the patient game the whole race.
Absolutely.
I never did a dive bomb. I never tried to really pass anybody. I was just trying to run and hit my marks and just try to make the guy in front of me make a mistake. And a lot of times they would do that, and I'd just be there to capitalize. And it's right there at the very end. I kind of, like, we were talking about what we were going to do, and I seen I knew he was going for it, and I seen he hesitate, and I couldn't go with you. So I just said, well, I'm just going to back up a little bit, and I'm just going to see what plays out. And I kind of seen it unfold, and then I just dove to the bottom, and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and pick up the win. But man, what an awesome race this week. I mean, it's been getting better and better every single week, and I think it's a test to this guys getting used to each other, how they're driving. I mean, I know we still got a few that just is still just a little bit aggressive, but I've seen a little bit better this week, and we go to a whole different animal this week, and I think it's going to be more about handling this week. And man, it's just what an awesome race. I mean, I don't know how it could get any better than that.
Definitely. The racing from Pocono, well, really from Texas to Pocono was huge. But the thing that nobody has mentioned yet from Pocono to Kansas was we had our first green flag pit stop of the race, and we made multiple of them. I think did we have any cautions, Billy?
We had a couple. Like
maybe
2 or 3
one?
cautions, maybe?
Yeah.
I thought we had maybe one. I'm not sure.
No, there was some wrecks in the back of the field.
Yeah, I think it was like 2.
Yeah,
2?
It might have been 2. 2 or 3.
So.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was great.
We had a massive field. I think 23, 24 races past week. A really good field. And to have that kind of racing, almost no cautions, tried to bring Rub on him back into the conversation. He has raced with these guys every week so far in FTR, and he misses this past week. What do you think of the racing, Rub? It's clearly gotten better. We had our first green flag pit stop this previous week. What do you expect going out to Phoenix next week?
Oh, shoot, somebody fast is gonna win. You gotta turn left, and rub bottom's gonna be in the back. But no, but Phoenix is not one of my better tracks, but I'm getting better at it. Um, with the racing that's been going on so far, Phoenix seems like it's going to be a little bit tougher track, and I do expect to see some issues, especially turn one. Uh, but just once we get spread out, things will be better, I believe. Did that answer
Definitely.
your question? Did I answer your
Yeah.
question?
Yeah, yeah. The racing at Phoenix is going to be completely different. There's the dog leg, and this will be the first track this week that we have to use, or oh my gosh, this will be the first track this season that we have to actually use the brakes. So that's going to be
Oh, for
different.
sure.
Oh, we
Um,
did a little bit of Pocono. Pocono was a little bit breaking.
yeah, checking
Yep,
up for
yep,
people, really did depend on how you run it. We ran
yep.
2 mile and a half at Super Speedway, then you go to Pocono, where you can either lift really early, you can use the brakes, there's a lot of checking up. Um, Phoenix will be the first track where you're using the brakes every single lap. You're using them hard. Like Billy said, handling, tire wear. That'll be my issue. The car's going to get extremely loose. JD, you said you had a pretty good car here last season. You've run well, Phoenix. What's your perspective, especially for the B League going into this season?
We have
This week. Sorry.
quite a few guys in B League with me. We ran 900 laps yesterday, believe it or not. 900 laps. We had
Oh,
quite a few guys in there. Not as many as I'd like to see, but I worked with a few people, and I worked with Bleachy. He wasn't. He was rolling through the turns instead of breaking into the turns, and I told him somebody's going to really get into the back of you because you're going to drive in deeper than you are. And so he started using the brakes, and at that point, he had never got into the 25s. Now he's hitting 25 sixes, 25 sevens, so he's improved there quite a bit. And he's actually, when you get to talk to him, you get to know him really good. He's really a fun guy to be around. I enjoyed my whole day yesterday doing this. We started early in the morning and finished in the evening.
Definitely. That goes back to my point about guys showing each other, pretty much showing each other the ropes. So really practicing and working well together. Billy, you have done a lot of that, and you kind of gave your perspective going into this week. What's your predictions for the B and the C races?
ooh. Um, we got some new faces. We added like I think 4 or 5 new drivers to C League, and I'm kind of anxious to see what those guys kind of bring to the table because I know one's been really, really fast there. I've been hearing, and
Uh-huh. And that's my prediction.
um, man, I'm telling you, it's tough. Um, I think this week I'm gonna go with it. I want to go with a new guy. Um,
Dunlap.
I'm gonna go with Dunlap. I've been hearing a lot of big things about him. I heard he races very respectful and he's very fast. So I think I'm gonna go out on a limb this week and I'm gonna pick another new guy.
Yep.
I think another rookie's gonna win this weekend.
Well,
As
right
far as the B
now,
group,
go ahead.
um, I always got to go with the point leader. Bronco, he's always been very consistent. Um, I think he might get it done this week, and I'm gonna go with JD this week.
Okay. Those are good picks. I have to agree for a lot of those. JD, I believe you're pretty familiar with the C League. I know you're familiar with the B League. What are your
Oh, yeah.
predictions for the B and the C?
Well, I'm going to take Dunlap also. I ran with him all those laps yesterday. Very, you ran with him some today. Um, and he
Five,
is consistent.
four,
If we can get
three,
his car to keep,
two, one.
since we got that steering offset fixed for him, should be good. So I'm going to take Dunlap. B League, there's several guys, man. I'm gaining more and more respect for a lot of these guys. And then at this point, I'm more happy with having the results of a great race and a great show. And we're working towards that, making the show just awesome. So I'm gonna also take Bronco there. We run yesterday. We had pretty even cars. I have a little faster car, and but you know he's a guy to watch, and I'm also gonna take Bleachy Bones as my dark horse.
Okay.
Y'all
It's
can, I
good
can't
picks.
believe y'all ain't laughing about that.
All right, so here's your Daytona 500 winner. Rub on him. He wanted me to do that. What are your predictions this week? Rub Daytona 500 winner. Rub on him.
There you go. Well, let's see. I'm trying to find a roster for the C League, CB
They've
League.
changed, so
Well, but like C League. Okay, we'll start with C League. I'm thinking. Oh, isn't Stewart back into that one? Now, didn't he just get in
He
there?
is.
yeah, he's still there.
Yeah. But I don't really know. I know Stewart, and I really don't know anybody else up there except maybe Burntwood. But I don't know. I might have to go with You know what? I don't know if y'all pick Stewart, but I'm gonna pick Stewart.
That's
Okay.
a good pick.
Yeah,
Good
he does
pick.
have a win this season, and he does actually sit impressively second in the standings.
Yeah. So and then B League. Let's see. Look at here. Broncos good. Now listen. Here. Now Maverick, he is my student. I brought him in here,
Yep.
and
Okay.
I was hoping he could get in the A League with us because I run all the time with him, but I didn't figure he would since he was new, and I was right. And Billy wanted him to start off in B League, see how he did,
Yep.
and so he's, which is fine. I told him he was perfectly fine with that, and he's doing good. So I'm gonna pick Maverick.
Okay.
That's a good
Another
pick.
good pick.
That's
Yeah.
another good pick.
Yeah, he's got to win, but I think yeah, he's pushing up there. I think he's been up there front on most of the races up to date.
Yeah, he has.
So yeah, I'm gonna pick Maverick for the
Yeah,
B.
he's a strong driver. He's a good one to pick, especially in
Yeah.
B League.
Well, like I said, that's my student. I've been training him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both those guys sit second in the standings. Both those guys have a win. So both of those guys have proven they can get it done. Those are pretty good picks, Rob.
Yep.
Now, as far as the A League goes, here at Phoenix, let's see. Uh, looks like we got 4 or 5 Pro League drivers up in the top 5. Anyway, anyway, I never made it up to the very top spot. I somehow ended up second. But I'm gonna pick. Hmm. Well, I've only really seen you and Billy run Eagles. Uh, there. And I know y'all are both fast and y'all work together. So I'm gonna pick one of you guys to win it.
Okay.
Can I do that? Can I throw a
Yeah.
few names out there?
Yeah, you can pick whoever you want. Um, Billy, he'll be back with us in a minute, guys. So we'll skip over Billy for a minute, and you guys just got Rubs, A-League picks. JD, I'm sure you're familiar with some of these guys in A-League. Who's your
Well,
pick for Phoenix?
I've got news for you. If you run my setup, I think you're gonna win. You feel me?
Okay. Alright, so are
That's
you
a
giving
good
credit to
setup.
me or the setup?
No,
Hey,
to
hey.
you. I mean, the car is good. It handles good, but you're a far better driver than I am, and I have no problems admitting it. That's why I'm in B League, um, sitting at the bottom. I'm right at the cut line this season. I have had a bad season so far.
Okay. Alright.
Well,
You and also I might take Mike. Yeah, might go ahead and take Mike too.
well, I think I'm
Billy's
gonna
good
check.
there too, but Mike's on a mission.
Yeah, I'm looking at the standings right now, and I actually have not even checked how many playoff points I have. I had no idea I had 16 playoff points. So that's pretty good. I look
Yeah,
at myself and I'm like, I'm pretty far down. Well, I guess I can't say that I'm fourth, but I'm like, I'm pretty many points behind Mike. And then in reality, when the playoffs start, I'm only 9 points behind him right now. So,
right.
But
those
can you
playoff
believe that I
points
have
are.
playoff points? I mean, I
Uh,
never up this high.
Let me scroll down the list and find you. There you are in 11th. Yeah, you have playoff points too. You're sitting right now. You're only 17 points behind Mike technically. If the playoffs were to start today, you'd
I don't think
actually
I've ever had a
be.
playoff point. No.
Yeah. I think you'd be 6th or 7th in the standings if the playoffs were to start today, so that's pretty good. There's only one guy in the top 12 without any, and that's Lone Star Street Machine. For
He's
my
had some
picks,
bad luck.
yeah, yeah, he has. Well, not too bad. I mean, he's in there in 9th. Not too bad,
No,
especially when you got
no.
34 guys on there, but
Right,
the
right.
the picks I'm going to make for probably B and C would have to be... Oh, let me find it again. I'm going to have to go with Dunlap just because I ran with him today. He was quick. He'll move up to B pretty quickly for C League. And for Billy, um, er, for B, God almighty, I can't speak today. I'm going to have to go with, I'm going to have to agree with you, bro. I'm going to have to go with Maverick. I know he's really quick. He was really fast at Texas. He's 2nd in the standings, so for B League, I'm going to have to go with Maverick. Moving back up to the A League, I'm going to have to either go with Mike RPM or JWoww. I know JWoww is crazy fast at Phoenix. And it'll only be a matter of time till Mike gets it. He has a 22 point lead over 2nd place. He is over 130 or 140 points above the cutoff, so he's looking pretty good there as well. So I'm going to have to go with Mike. Billy is back in here with us. Who's your pick for A-League, Billy?
Oh man, I kind of agree. I think Mike's gonna have a really good car. I know I raced with him here in GC, and he had a really good car there as well. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Mike. I'm gonna have to go with Mike on that one. He hadn't won here. He hadn't won this season. I know he's leading the points right now, and he's won some stages, but he's still searching for that first win. So he might be able to pull it off this week. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. There's gonna be a lot of fast guys.
Yeah, he's been right there every race.
It'll only be a matter of time. He probably would have won this past week if I didn't lose my head in the last turn. That, or if I didn't lose my head, I would have won it. That was a good finish,
Uh,
though.
most of us guys talked about that race, and we said, "You see what Eagles did?" We said, "Yeah, that was all teamwork. It was Billy's turn to win."
I
Yeah,
wish it was that way.
I
Yeah,
guess
I
you can
know,
call
right?
me. I guess you can call me Kevin Harvick. Going
Right.
over my head trying to win, or Kevin Harvick or Jimmy Johnson. Haven't won in over a season, so I lose my head and blow it in the last turn. Jimmy
Right.
Johnson did that at the Roval. So yeah, that sucks. But sitting 4th in the standings. Um, I guess I'd be 4th if the playoffs started today as well. So pretty good. Now that I look at it, if the playoffs were to start today with playoff points, Titans would actually have the point lead. So Titans has been very consistent.
Yes, he has.
He won that Pocono race. Pretty lucky at the end of the race. A lot of mayhem happened. Otherwise, that one was probably Mike's as well. Yeah, like
Yep.
I said, Mike's turn
I
is
agree.
coming. But looking this week for Phoenix for high side, we haven't made predictions for high side. But Billy, um, what do you expect going into the high side race for Phoenix?
Oh man, I think it's going to kind of continue, right? I think we're going to see some really good racing. I think if Phoenix is one of those tracks where do you build a car for a short run and expect cautions, or do you build a long run car and expect to go green flag laps? And it's kind of a toss up. But I think the racing is going to be really good. I think we'll have a big field. I think we'll see probably 18 plus in high side this week. So, I
I'll
imagine a
be
lot of
there
guys
this
are going to
week.
be getting some
Blazing will
practice
be
in before
there.
Wednesday.
I'll
So,
be there. Blazing will be there.
hopefully everybody shows up and we can put on an awesome race.
Yeah, it's always what everybody wants, a good show and a good race. It just really, whenever I get on and I get home from school and I look at roll call and I see 22 guys on there, I'm like, jeez, I really like that. Your heart almost sinks, I guess you can say, or whatever, whenever you look at roll call, dang, only 8 guys tonight. But, we haven't had under 19. We have 36 in the standings. All 36 actively still in the league. So it's just a matter of, some guys are part-time. We just heard JD and Blazin will be there this week. So yeah, it's really cool to see everybody come together. You combine A, B, and C, and then there's some guys outside of FTR that come and run with us as well. So that's really cool. But moving on, to our standings, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but we haven't gone full in depth for the A-League. Biggest surprises, and I'm sure you guys can agree, that are outside the playoff cut. Definitely Itchabro Chase, aka he's last in the standings. Probably fastest guy on the track, last in the standings. He's definitely a surprise. DK Brown, he came in late for the season. Aqua Tatty, he missed a few races. Sludge down in 31st. You got Pittman in 20th. True Death 13th, right outside the cut. Something to note is there's already starting to be a gap from inside to outside. There's 14 points between 12th and 13th, and that's going to be harder and harder and harder to make up. Rub on 'em sits 11th, comfortably in, plus 14. And then you got me and Billy second and fourth. Pretty good. So, what's your guys' perspective? You, Billy, sitting in second. What do you see? What are some surprises? Bob Drew is 8th, and he actually missed a race. So that's pretty cool. What's your perspective there, Billy? Who's
Yeah, I
your
mean,
biggest surprises?
we kind of talked about, before the season started, with the talent level that we have in this A group. It's hard enough to get playoff points, period, getting top threes, but it's about consistency, right? It's every week. You just have to put yourself in the right position at the right time, at that moment, and that's what points are, right? It's a lot of the guys that run every single race, they get awarded more points than guys that miss two or three different races. That can be a point to where you can either get in the playoffs or not get in the playoffs, and it's just it's kind of I kind of see right now the front five, six, maybe I'd say top five is kind of separating herself a little bit. You kind of you see the point gap from first to 12th is like 127 points. That's a lot. That's a lot of points, and it's just being consistent every week is what it's going to take. So it's just any you can gain so many points just in one race, right? So I mean, if you win, just say if you win first stage, second stage, and a final race, that's 80 regular points that you gain plus, it's like 20 playoff points. So it's a
Jeez.
lot.
Yeah, it is.
So just being consistent.
Definitely. That's a ton of points. 20 playoff points. Wow, that's a lot for, I think you said one race. That's a ton. Rub on 'em. Daytona
Yeah.
500 winner. You sit 11th in the standings right now. How do you feel, and what are your biggest surprises that's below the cut right now?
Uh, the way I feel is I'm just ecstatic to be at least 11th above the cut line. That's usually not where I end up, especially early in the season. Um, Last year I was able to sneak in last place above the cut line, but I'm doing my dangest to hang in there. It's gonna be hard, but other than that, I'm good with everything else.
Okay. JD, let me pull up the B League standings. You sit
12.
12th. So, you have finished inside the top four every single season except for season one. So you have a lot of familiar with winning races, doing well. You're sitting 12th right now. You're probably, if I have to say a surprise, you'd probably be at the top of my list. Seeing some guys like, you see Nowinski in 6th. He's doing well. Lugnut all the way up in 4th. Bubba, Fanagi. We know you missing a race hurt, but you're sitting in 12th right now. How do you feel so far?
Well, I feel like I've consistently put myself in positions to win. Due to some kind of unfortunate, whatever, unforeseeable, whatever things happen. Texas, I blew that race from the get. Um, Finishing 3 laps down wasn't pretty, and I kicked myself, but I wasn't gonna leave the race. So I needed all the points I could gather because I knew that was gonna hurt me bad. As bad as missing a race. That's how bad that was. It's just like missing a race. But I foresee not missing any more races. All of our meetings for now for the company will be Zoom for us. So we'll be here for every race. I'm projecting myself. I'm gonna be in position tomorrow to have a chance to win that race tomorrow. I have a really good car. I'm running 25.5, so I'm happy with it. Um, so and it lasts. That's what I like about it. The only thing that worries me is I might have built it for a long run, but you can make adjustments for short runs. But it's a long run car.
Okay. Yeah, I have to say, one of the biggest surprises would be you down in 12th, and you're still inside the cut. You're plus 10. You're only 1 point out of 11th, 7 points out of 10th. You're not out of it.
No, no.
Broncos up there pretty far, but he doesn't have a win yet. If the playoffs were to start today, I think you'd be 10th, um, or 11th. Actually, no, if the playoffs were to start today, you would be, I think, 11th. Depending on, there's some guys below the cut right now with playoff points. Like Chargers and Trav, you see Racer X, you see Brandon all the way down in 23rd.
Chargers had the same kind of season I am, and we all know he's a good driver. Um, it's just unforeseen things coming up and happening, and us being in the wrong place at the right time, and because he's a really good driver. Yeah, he's proved it over and over and over. Uh, so yeah, there's a few of us down there where we don't belong as far as we're concerned. I'm gonna push my way back up. I'm gonna do my dangest to charge that way. Try to get me a couple wins under my belt. And as before the season ever started, I projected at least 8 winners this season, possibly 10. And right now, it's beginning to look a whole lot like that's going to happen. It's a whole nother season with a whole lot of really good drivers. So it's going to be a hard time working my way back up there, but I'm looking to do it.
Yeah, you can definitely do it. You're definitely not too far out. You're actually not out at all if you look at it from a playoff standpoint. Like I said, you sit in right now. But some big names that have joined the B League. I look down the list and I see HT3. I know who that is. I know, we got Noko. Um, Trying to look down here. Racer X. There's some big names that have joined the B League, so those guys are going to be marching their way up. And it's going
Yeah,
to be very interesting to see what they're able to do.
ran a bunch with Racer X yesterday. Ran a bunch with Linsky, Bronco. Um, there was quite a yeah, we had quite a few. I
Yeah,
can't even remember all of them.
yeah. I'm gonna bring Billy back into the conversation. Billy, do you have any plans? We've seen a lot of guys from C League get moved up to B. I don't know if we've seen anybody actually drop a series yet. Um, are we gonna have our first guy go from B to A anytime soon? Who are you looking at?
I don't know yet. I've got some few guys in mind, but some of the guys really, really, really want to stay in B. And they're not dominating in B or by any means or anything like that. But I'm more concerned with C. Um, I'm kind of anxious to see how the new guys come in this week and see how they perform. I think we've moved up every single race. I believe we've moved somebody up every single race
Yeah, I
um,
believe so.
this season. Right now I went back and did the count, and I think right now we got 31 guys in A, we got 28 guys in B, and we're back up to 20 guys in C. So I think we got 80 drivers right now out of three groups. So I don't really think I'm going to move um, any more up right now from any group at the moment, just till I see that the racing's going to be really good in B. Because I mean that's exactly what we want, is we want a bunch of guys, but we kind of see sometimes when we get more than 24 or 25, 26, on up, racing gets kind of sloppy. So um, I don't know yet. I don't know what the plans are yet. I'm just gonna kind of play it by ear right now and just kind of keep my eyes open, and we're gonna go from there.
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
we have a bunch of eager drivers looking for their first win in B, which may cause some, some incidents. But overall, it seems like every week we're getting better. We're starting to get used to each other a little bit. We're gonna split the lobbies up this next race. We're gonna have an even amount in both chat lobbies. Hopefully that will help. Um, and we'll have a lot
And
of
one more thing
eyes
you
on
could
that
probably
field
do,
too.
JD, is we have the
Take it in there.
we have the
Take it
Discord.
in there.
So if you
Yeah, I was
guys,
thinking about that. I used to have Discord, but my phone, I have a new phone and I need to add it back. And I know we have a Discord for FTR, so I might just do that, and we might try to get everybody we can to get
yeah,
into
because I mean
Discord.
that way everybody can be in the same chat. So
Right.
it's just better communication that way.
The
But
only thing I worry about that is a lot of jibber jabber to where you can't
yeah,
hear guys.
yep,
Um,
yep. So whatever works for you guys, I'm game for whatever.
yeah, we're trying to work this all out. We've had some massive talks. Um, Bubba and I's been trying to push things and help everybody. We got a bunch of drivers trying to help with everybody as we can, but it still seems to be the same guys practicing every week. Um, we need to show some more effort working with guys because running with a guy once a week, it's hard to figure out his driving style, So week what's this? Week 5 this week. So week 5, I'm looking for some better driving, some better communication, um, a lot less 3 and 4 wide. I hope we need some more patience. Um, as your race, patience pays off, man. It really does. Every time you race, you're one of the absolute most patient drivers I've ever seen. You won't push an issue. You let the guy mess up in front of you.
Okay. I do have to ask you, Billy. We ask every week, has there been any updated penalties? We know you sometimes will give penalties out. We've had to see it. Keep guys in line, keep the racing good. It's just kind of a part of it. Happens in real life, happens in the video game. Do you have anything to inform us on?
No, nothing major. I seen one. We give one 5 point penalty in our C group, and then we give one 10 point penalty in our A group. So it was pretty quiet this week. I reviewed some clips, a couple clips and stuff that was sent in, but nothing major. I mean, it was all to me this week that we just had was the best racing we've had in this season. So um, no, it wasn't bad at all, man. Hopefully next week we don't have any.
Yeah. We've only had one this week, and we didn't have any after Pocono. I don't think we had any after Texas. For the A-League, we've had a total of 3 penalties. I think we've had a total of 3 in the C. Have we had any in B all year? B seems to be the outspoken, fast group. No penalties, really good racing. It's really cool to see what these guys are able to do. Um, is there anything else anybody wants to add? I think we got through all the topics. Is there anything anybody else wants to add or has something to say?
No, I'm good.
No,
I'm
Okay.
good.
just hope the racing's great this week. Hoping we can
That's what I'm
continue
looking
on.
for. I'm nervous, but at the same time, I'm hoping for a really great race. Uh, gonna have a lot of cars on the track at the same time on a mile track. A division guys are fast, and that's gonna all come down to that handling. That's mid stage on. So whoever has really a good long car in your guys' division, and I know a couple of you guys too. uh, that's who I'm looking for to win in your guys' league.
Okay. Is there anything either of you guys have to add yet, Billy? Rub on him?
Yeah, I mean just looking for another great race this weekend. We're gonna kick it off with our C and B group. I think they're going to do really well. I mean, last week was it was huge for us. Um, you know, you would have thought last week would probably be one of the roughest races just because it's one groove, high groove, draft track, and it was actually the best race we've had all season. So it's just a test of all the drivers that put in the work. You know, starting to respect each other, and they want to put on good races for the fans, and that's hopefully we continue it this weekend with Phoenix. I think it's I think Phoenix is going to be really exciting. I'm ready to kind of see some B and C guys get some long runs in just to kind of see how their setups and their cars react, you know, after they get on worn tires. So should be a blast. You know, I can't wait to get it started Sunday, and just looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. There's a lot to look forward to. You have a lot of support. You know, it's cool to see our broadcasters. We have to thank our broadcasters every week, every driver that shows up. You know, I appreciate all the guys that race in high side with us. Appreciate you being with us here tonight, JD and Rub on 'em. We're glad to have a new guest every week. Plan to have Slade on once again with us next week, so it'll be cool to talk to him again. Is there anything else you guys as guests want to add, JD and Rub on 'em?
No, just thanks for having me.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was a
Thanks for
pleasure
all y'all
being
do.
here, and let me voice some of my frustrations with my season so far. But hey, I'm pushing forward.
I mean, I appreciate all y'all do. I know y'all stay busy with all this. It's a lot on your plate.
Yes, sir. Billy and you running high side, and Billy keeping this all together, and all of our admins really working hard to make everything proper. And it's coming along. I mean, racing's getting better every week. I expect it to get better. Last season, mid-season in B League, we could race side by side, and we had some of the longest. We had nothing. I mean, we had long green flag races last season, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Getting some long green flag racing.
All
So one
right.
thing I want to add, been doing a lot of thinking, and you know, if you're watching out there or whatever, just kind of stay tuned a little bit because FTR may be expanding to iRacing.
I
So
Mm.
see. Yeah,
um,
man.
just want to throw that out there just as a sneak peek. But it's a very good possibility that we may go to the iRacing side as well, along with our console. You know,
Yeah,
I
we
love
already
racing
have a great
console racing.
driver in there.
Yep. So I just wanted to let everybody know that.
Okay. Okay, so if you were to move over to iRacing, do you plan on having an A, B, and C over there, or are you just kind of going to start with one series? I'm not sure how iRacing works, if they have other series on there. I think they actually have a lot more than just NASCAR. Um, I have to ask you, Billy, how has it been so far? You've been on iRacing. How's it been compared to console? I guess you can't even compare it to console. Probably much better than console, but I'm
Well,
sure you plan to keep the FTR A League and B League and C League going. But if you want to expand to FTR, how's it? Oh my gosh! If you plan
I'm
to
gonna have to go over
expand
and win
to
Daytona too.
yeah to iRacing, how's it been over there, Billy?
oh man, it's nothing that's comparable. I mean,
Oh, you've already started? I mean,
you know,
doing
it's
iRacing?
like here, you know, iRacing is totally different. I mean, the car physics are different. You know, like it's just like going down pit road. You have to enter pit road, drive down pit road, stop in your pit box. You have to do all that manually under, you know, maintaining speed. But the racing's awesome. I mean, it's so much more realistic. Um, the cars feel more realistic. Um, if you overdrive the car, it will let you know because you'll either spin out, hit the wall, or hit somebody or something. So, I mean, it's awesome. It's an awesome experience. So, you know, I encourage people that have never done it to actually just give it a shot one time. And it's tough. It's very tough, and it takes a little bit to get used to. It's more of driving the car with your foot rather than the steering wheel. So
Yeah.
it's all about throttle control, and it's awesome, man. I've had a great experience. I've been on it now for probably about a week and a half, kind of off and on because you know I've been having a lot of issues at work, and it's been taking up a lot of my time. But every chance I'm getting, I'm going over there and I'm racing. I'm racing, you know, just trying to get my license up. But man, it's I'll probably go live here pretty soon. Just kind of give you guys some sneak peek on some races and stuff. But
How long
it's
ago did you
awesome, man.
start, Billy?
It's very awesome.
How long ago did you start?
Do what now?
How long ago did you start racing iRacing?
I started last Sunday.
Wow.
Last Sunday was my first.
Since
Well, I think
since
Sunday before that. It was my
we've mentioned that,
first
I'm
ever
sorry.
time I sit down in one, and it was like I said, it's you kind of I took that same mentality the way I drive in NASCAR heat, the way the cars feel, and drive off in the corner, and I realized really quick first turn you can't do that. So um, it's a lot different, man. A lot different.
Okay. Did you have something you want to add, JD?
Yeah, since we were talking about that,
iRacing.
we do have, yeah, iRacing. We do have a driver representing FTR, and I can't remember the other sponsor, but he finished fourth in his first race, and I believe he won his last one, right?
He did. He did. I was saving that for next week.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
damn it,
But
JD,
you
one
can. I
job.
mean, if you want me to bid over and take a paddling, I'll be glad to do it.
No, that's okay. But we can go ahead and we'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. As you guys know, McLovin's doing a lot for FTR. He's helped us out a lot this season. He came on board last season, and we talk a lot. I think we talk daily. And I seen the opportunity. We talked. He came to me, and I seen a very good opportunity to kind of get our name out there. And I took on the sponsorship for his iRacing car. So if you get a chance, check that out. I think we posted it on Facebook, and he's been doing really well with it. And I know he picked up his first win tonight at Richmond Speedway, and want to congratulate him on that. And, he's been helping me out a lot. I know he's been helping War out a lot on the iRacing side, and yeah, just want to, we've seen the opportunity to get our name out there, and that's what we did. And we'll probably continue doing that for other guys too, if needed. And so the more out there, the better. So it's all for a good cause, and that's awesome deal.
Okay. All right.
I
Well,
really, I really wish I had the time to do it. I just don't have it right
Yeah,
now.
it takes a lot of
As
time.
soon as I
Can
get, as
it
soon
be
as I
done from a
retire.
laptop?
Do what now?
Can it be done from a laptop, or do you have to have a big, expensive setup?
Yeah, you can do it. People's got gaming PCs, like laptops. Yeah, for sure.
can you do it from a TV?
Um, yes, I think you can actually use a screen, the
Yep.
screen from a TV. Yeah, but I don't. You're probably gonna get a lot better quality from a monitor than you will a TV, from what I'm hearing.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
like a
I'm sure you could.
40-inch monitor works great from what I understand with that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. We discussed a lot. We're going to Phoenix this next week. We talked about our predictions, what we expect. We talked about our review from last week. We brought up iRacing, penalties, standings. We've kind of brought it all up tonight. Like I said earlier, I thank JD and Robonum for joining us tonight. Once again, Billy, we're already 2 months into this. This has been pretty cool. We have a lot of support behind the podcast, and we have a full schedule now. I just got word that the last spot that was open is now no longer open. If anybody's interested in joining, pick a week where you see one guy on there, and we'll be sure to add you. We like to cap out at two. But if we have three, we had three a couple weeks ago with Bleachy, JD, and Lugnut.
Tell them I was never invited.
So, yeah, no, Rub, everybody's invited.
This was
So,
Robot you talking to. Shoot.
The Daytona winner,
That's right.
yeah.
Red on him.
Robot
That's who you're
Alright.
talking to.
Alright. If
I
anybody
appreciate
has
you
a...
guys for showing up tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
Thank you
appreciate you
guys for
guys.
inviting us.
I'm just
Yep,
joking around anyway. So,
Thanks. That's it, ain't it, Eagles? You got anything
I
else?
think so. Well, guys, appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight. Until next week, we'll have Slade on the show. Excited to talk to him. Appreciate all the support behind the podcast. Peace out. We see you
Yes,
next
sir.
week.